Fate of the Furious. Hey there, everybody. Welcome back to another rating from Rating Central. I'm Tim, of course, and this is The Fate of the Furious. So I want to start off by saying that, generally speaking, and just to put it out there as a proclaimer, that I'm not a big fan of these Fast and Furious movies. I've seen all of them. I think I only saw the first two in theater. They were all right to me. They're not great, like they were. I'm not a car guy either, so that's a big part of it. But I got to tell you, I was thoroughly satisfied and blown away by The Fate of the Furious. Very good chapter. It's a very smart movie, and I enjoy smart movies, movies that make sense, movies where they bring everything together, where, like they're really tying up loose ends in this one, which is good. And like from the trailers that you get, you're wondering why are they going up against Vin Diesel this time, right? Like what would cause him to turn on family? And I'm not going to give spoilers away, but the reasoning behind it is incredibly powerful and accurate. It would definitely cause his character to go rogue. There's no two ways about it. Um, like a lot of the other Fast and Furious movies, they're bringing other people back that you're not expecting to see, which is good. I mean, the villain is excellent in this. Again, she's like a mastermind, which is it's fantastic. You can totally get a sense of why she is being a mastermind, like why she's being the villain, and you actually get a real sense of urgency behind why the team not just has to find Vin Diesel, but why they have to stop her. Um, One of the problems I've always had with these kinds of movies was, there's action sequences where there doesn't need to be. There's action just to say that it's an action movie. That's not integral to the plot, or it's not, it wasn't necessary. They could have done it with a line of dialogue sometimes. This movie wasn't like that. The action in this movie is incredible. It is very plot pushing, so like it's necessary to push the movie forward. It's just overall a very well built movie. It definitely stands out from the rest of the movies, but easily still part of the same universe. Again, you get all these big name actors coming back, and you start to wonder, is it going to be, somebody trying to grab the show and things like that? And it just wasn't. They all felt like they deserved the same screen time, like they all deserved to be there. They're all supposed to be there. They weren't shoehorning somebody in just for the sake of doing so. I mean, it has its problems. Don't get me wrong. It's not a quote unquote a believable movie. There's no way. Not that movies are supposed to be that way, but certainly some of the other Fast and the Furious were a lot more believable in the stunts that were done or the plot points that were taken than this one. But I don't think that's what they were going for here. They weren't going for a reality check. They were just they're going to make a good story, and they did that. They definitely hit that mark. There's no two ways about that. Again, I'm not a car guy. The cars are beautiful. I don't know enough about them to really tell you whether they're great cars or things like that, but they're definitely beautiful, definitely souped up. There's still racing involved, which made me happy as well because I mean that's where this started from. This didn't start with world espionage and stealing all this stuff and whatever. It started off with racing, and they kind of went back to that homage, which I really enjoyed. It was nice to see that they didn't forget where they came from in this one. Again, as it always has in these movies, family plays a big part in it, which is fine. I mean, it's a great message to put through that family is number one. There's no two ways about that. But it does make you question how far you would go for family, and is it worth fighting for this kind of family, and what does institute family? Is it blood? Is it not blood? Is it the people that you're around all the time? So it was kind of an existential movie as well, which is nice. Just a little bit though, not a lot. It's not a thinker movie. There's no two ways about that. That's why it's a smart movie. Is they give you enough that you can understand it, and they push it forward, push it right through you. You don't have to sit there and contemplate what the actors are doing or why they're doing it or any of this kind of stuff. So the plot moves very well. I mean, there was some minor pacing issues at times, and a couple of scenes where you go, "Whoa, why is that there?" But that's every movie. There's no movie that's perfect. It's just the way it is. So I think overall, I was more than happy with this movie. I would go see it again for sure. And for me to say that, it's a big deal for these kinds of movies, just because again, they're just not my type of movie. when it comes right down to it. Obviously, it's a humongous franchise, and it's obviously millions of people enjoy these movies. So it's nothing against the franchise at all. It just doesn't generally hit me. But this movie did. I really really enjoyed it. And if you haven't seen it, whether you're a fan of the movies or not, I would say go see it for sure. Easily worth the admission price. There's no two ways about that. What, four? I guess 4 out of 5 stars on this one. Um, I might give it a 4.2 or something like that, because it was very good. As I said, there was some weak points, so there's some plot problems and things like this that always happens. But at the same time, overall, a very very well done movie, and again, it stands on its own, away from the other movies, which in this case is a good thing. A lot of times it's not, but it's a good thing that this is part of the series, but stands on its own 2 feet. So if you haven't seen it yet, definitely I would say go see it. And again, some people are going to hate it, and that's fine. So be it. Some of them do. Maybe I'm wrong. Tell me I'm wrong. That's fine. I have no problem with that whatsoever. And again, I'm not saying it's perfect. There is far from perfect. There's no two ways about that. Again, it's Tim from Rating Central. Hope you enjoyed this. There will be another coming up for Guardian of the Galaxy Volume 2. I just saw that last night, so I'm going to do some of the video work and get that up soon. So, again, if you have any comments or anything, please leave them below. Leave a like, leave a subscription, and hope you guys enjoy your night.